afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, October 10th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. It is your choice when to let go, not if you can. Making the decision to let go of your problems is 90% of the battle. Making a choice means releasing the past and moving forward with life. Letting go is a natural part of this life. It is the initiating key in the enlightenment process. It starts with each of us to stop judging ourselves and our lives and begin to merge with the experience of the whole thing. Make that decision today to let go of any indecisiveness and move forward with confidence that you can choose to take a baby step today towards letting go of your judgment on your life and enjoying the experience more often. Satisfying self, the outer world is never fully satisfies us. It only gives us a temporary fulfillment and a false security. Permanent happiness comes only from being connected to the source of love, truth, and joy on the inside. Discover that which never changes, and you have found the everlasting source of total satisfaction. Without a doubt, you are an infinite being of love. Sometimes some of us experience out of the clear blue, because of the way where we're at and the space we're in, kind of like a glimpse of what it's like to become self-realized. Ego, identity, disappears into oblivion, and whatever is left of oneself, you, me, can start having a spiritual relationship with everything and everyone around you. The universe is completely conscious, filled with divine intelligent energy and the deepest profound wisdom. At times we get downloads from a source of higher intelligence, and that can keep coming in for weeks and months. You can also realize that you're completely at one with this divine intelligence and thus have access to an unlimited manifesting power. This shift creates a new way of perceiving and interacting with everything and everyone around you. Sometimes some of us can see their third eye, the infinite light that radiates from within every living thing. And since we are sensitive beings to it, feeling how its intelligence is at the core of every atom of this world, it's kind of like in the movie The Matrix, the trilogy. It's like waking up out of the Matrix and experiencing a glimpse of the state of spiritual enlightenment. In a single moment, in one stroke, you can become enlightened. It is not a gradual process, because enlightenment is not something that we have to invent. It is something that we have to discover. We choose to discover. Sometimes it comes out of the clear blue. It's already there. It is not something that we have to manufacture. If we have to manufacture it, of course, it will take time, but it is already there. All you have to do is close your eyes and see it there. Be silent, have a taste of it. Your very nature is what I call enlightenment. Enlightenment is not something alien outside of us. It is not somewhere else in time and space. It is you, your very core, Osho. And when you do receive this sacred glimpse, you can understand how nothing that happens in this universe is ever by accident. Nothing. Period. Even that you're listening and reevaluating and in this meditation is no accident. The universe is constantly guiding each and every one of us into a more enlightening experience of life. All we need to do is let go of our resistance to it. Enlightenment is about welcoming with a smile inside your heart each and every experience that comes your way. All of your problems and struggles in this life are like tiny particles of sand between your toes. Depending on how you move through your day, they can either grind at you or massage your feet. Your problems are your greatest teachers, and when you explore each of them with a childlike curiosity, you receive the greater lesson they are here to teach you. Welcome each problem with an open heart and mind. You'll understand that the entire world is designed to awaken, enlighten, heal, and empower each and every one of us. As for various problems, consider these problems as opportunities for growth. Change is not easy. The ego rejects change. Yet change is the law. Change is the real. Obstacles to the higher path are many. That is why few arrive. If obstacles are non-existent, then the ego will create them. Understand? Babaji. It's good to know that we are already divine spiritual beings who are already conscious and eternally connected to an unlimited source of love, abundance, intelligence, and power. Now, you can't do anything to change this. Your mind can make believe it's not true and make up an entire world of fabricated lies about it. The mind is so powerful at creating all sorts of negative thoughts and perceptions and beliefs that hold the tightest grip on reality. Nothing really matters to the soul except for love, freedom, and growth. The spiritually awakened being already exists inside us all. The infinite quality of its nature creates a much deeper foundation than the most beautiful thoughts can. The thoughts we have about this life always remain on the surface and never can mix fully with our spiritual essence. Our true spiritual foundation is so super pure, it can never be tainted. It's like if you poured a bottle of oil into a glass of water, which I'm sure you've done at least once or twice, and shook them up together, you'd see they naturally separate in a short span of time. No matter how much you stir them, the oil will float on the surface and the water sinks beneath. And this is a miracle. The moment that you realize that there is no way to make a home, then this whole existence is home. Then wherever you are at home. Okay. To skyrocket your journey into the enlightened 5D state, truly stop whatever life you are living and breathe. Breathe deeply into a space inside your being where you can naturally stop thoughts completely and let go of whatever you think and believe is real. Completely drop all assumptions about who you are and who you are not. Hold nothing but emptiness inside you. Be still in that. Right in this moment, for just a brief momentary try to open yourself up to life. Relax and feel into your natural knowingness that you are an infinite being who will never, ever, ever die. Continuously return to this feeling and understanding again and again and again. Do this for 2 to 3 minutes. The first first thing every morning. Let it be the very thing you are aware of each morning for the next, and feel inside when you wake up. As you consciously open this door, you'll be able to rest deeper inside your body and find the most quiet, peaceful, still center in the heart of your being. This is where you will find freedom and fully awaken to the divine being you truly are. The longer you can abide in this center, free from doubt and fear, the faster you'll find yourself manifesting a rich life full of depth, meaning, clarity, love, and abundance with bliss. Make this dynamic shift and choice in your consciousness right now. If you are willing to dive deeper inside yourself, then it's possible this glimpse of enlightenment is available for you. Have no expectations, as you may need a few weeks of energetic preparation to increase your body's vibration high enough to open the door to 5D consciousness. The experience of bliss is happening to someone somewhere right now, this very moment on this planet. Meditate, focus, and tune into those beings who are already there. Imagine what they're doing, how they are being in the world today. Let their experiences of bliss seep into your mind and your life. Write in your manifesting journal descriptive sensations and experiences. Most of us make decisions, but what if they were enlightened decisions? To expound and propagate concepts is simple. To drop all concepts is difficult and rare. Nisargadatta. Every day, along this amazing journey through life, we get the opportunity to fine-tune our ability to make healthy decisions that empower and inspire our lives. Some decisions are easy and obvious to make, while others can feel like they're ripping our mind and heart into 1,000 tiny pieces. When we reach one of these major life choice points and have to step into that colossal crossroads, take the time to go through this process so you can make the most enlightened decision available to you. You can observe yourself in the decision-making process. You'll notice that your body almost is paralyzed, frozen, and contracted around certain choices, while in making other decisions, if it expands with joy as if it found the most liberating gift from the universe. You may realize that what makes a decision self-empowering all depends on our perspective, how we are approaching our lives, our relationships with ourselves, and if we can see all the many possible outcomes and choices that could be made. You may realize that decisions are powerful teachers designed to force us to look inside ourselves so we participate more intimately in who we are inventing ourselves to be. We are nudged into being the creators of our reality, designers of our destiny, and constantly invited to paint the masterpiece blossoming inside us on the great blank canvas of our lives. If you wish to take your decision-making ability, to the next enlightening level, start with a commitment to get to know yourself more intimately. If you can know actually who you are and what you really want in this life, the universe cannot just hand you the scrap decision leftovers that are stuck at the bottom of the barrel. If you don't stand up for what you want, you become like a child who cannot speak yet and simply accept whatever your parents give you. Make this decision right now that you will always be able to clearly articulate what you desire. This one simple choice contains so much potential power inside. It will transform your life into the most interesting ways. It's a big risk to go after what your heart truly desires in this life. So get to know why you want these things in this life. What is it going to give you when you experience it? If you had excuses that would stop you from receiving it, what would those be? Who we are in this life is not all about what we desire to manifest. Yet our desires are great pointers to help us unravel the beautiful mystery within. So look deep inside yourselves and ask yourself, where do you want to be, do, and have in your life now? How about 3 years from now? No expectations, no attachments. Sit with these questions. The more clarity you can discover today will impact on some level the quality of manifestation you attract to you in your future. And that's always done in the now. Deciding what you truly want in life can be challenging because it feels like you are defining who you are and who you are not. If we commit to deciding to do one thing, we can feel confined and that we are excluding 1,000 other possible options. The other reason why decisions are often so challenging is the time frame or deadline we form around them. If we had an infinite number of years to reach our desired outcome, we might become so relaxed about the whole thing that it wouldn't matter if any decision was ever made. The enlightened path to discover here is that the limitations we feel around time and resources can work for us or against us. When we are thinking that we don't have an abundance of money, love, time, creativity, or manifesting power, it can force us to get deeply creative. When we have consequences to our choices, a price tag you have to pay for every decision made or not made, we become even more reverent beings who are conscious, choosing who we want to be and why we are here. When it comes down to reality, believe it or not, we have full choice as to if we entertain this belief in limitation or not. The mind will make up all sorts of stories about what is true and real and what is fiction and fantasy. Yet, the truth is, we are living in an ocean of unlimited conscious, intelligent energy that has no boundaries or borders. The mind likes to create limitations to play with and believe in some form of pressure around special decisions that have to be made. Yet the big secret here is knowing we are all spiritual beings at the core. Our infinite spiritual nature contains the realization that there are no limitations, no death after the body is gone. Deep down, we know that we have an infinite resource of manifesting power inside of us and an eternity of time to create anything we desire. There is no such thing as a person. There are only restrictions and limitations. The sum total of these defines the person. The person merely appears to be, like the space within the pot appears to have the shape and volume and smell of the pot. Nisargadatta. To step into the realm of making enlightened decisions, you must choose to start with blowing up the mind. The mind is too small of a container for an enlightened decision to fit in. We must drop the mind completely for an enlightened choice to find its way in. To reaching this place of enlightened insight is not hard. It just takes patience and the willingness to see the infinite realm of possibilities that exist here now. We must be willing to quiet the mind so it eventually stops its desperate, perpetual search for answers. To truly understand what an enlightened decision is all about, we might need to first clarify what an unenlightened decision entails. An unenlightened decision is one that is not self-reflective, introspective, or taking into consideration a deep love and respect for yourself. When you don't know who you are or what your heart truly yearns to manifest in this life, chances are high that you will struggle with every decision that comes your way. This doesn't mean in order to make the most enlightened decision, we need to contemplate for several hours when taking any risk or leap in this life. When we are in tune with our deepest life mission and purpose, we can make a huge enlightened life choice spontaneously and confidently. We can tell a decision is enlightened when it brings us more freedom, lightness, love, depth, or even more possible choices. An enlightened decision won't limit our future, yet rather will expand our consciousness in every dimension. Enlightened decisions are win-win solutions where everyone benefits in some miraculous way. The most enlightened decision will manifest instantly when the mind is perfectly calm and silent. Here we become truly in tune with our hearts, aligned with our spiritual nature, and capable of feeling what our deepest needs are. The more we are in touch with our spiritual nature, our true soul connection to this universe, we will know what we most want to experience every day before we die. Knowing this connection, every decision-making experience becomes easier and happens faster all along the way. If you're afraid to make any decision that could possibly alter your normal, safe life circumstances, you'll notice that the mind is frozen in Fearville. It is terrified of change, thinking things will remain okay if I remain in full control and don't make any changes. If you're able to take one baby step out of this comfort zone, you won't end up molding and rotting in your cozy safety pit. An enlightened decision maker loves taking risks because they realize there truly is nothing to risk. They know that they are a soul, a truly infinite being inside, and are excited to throw some spice into their life in order to really enjoy the ride. Those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane, but those who could not hear the music, by those who could not hear the music, Frederick Nietzsche. To make that deep change and arrive in the liberating land of enlightened choice making, think about those choices you've made in the past that have made your heart sing the loudest. What great risks have you taken that have manifested the most wonderful situation that is still impacting you today? By trusting the risk that you have taken in the past, you'll relax deeper into yourself, realize that you are listening to your heart. This is one of the first steps to uncovering your real spiritual essence. Notice how you feel when you're coming from a place of intuition, inspiration, love, and trust. Just feeling into these qualities every day make it 1,000 times easier to become that empowered co-creator of your life and dreamy designer of your destiny. The most enlightened decision you can make will always be the one that brings the deepest relaxation into your body and mind. The most unenlightened decision will always be creating more stress, tension, anxiety, and fear inside. The unenlightened path is about basing our future on avoiding or possessing potential what-if outcomes. If we are desperately trying to avoid something from manifesting in our lives, we are more likely going to attract it and end up being a closed hand for receiving what we truly want. If we're always attached to a particular outcome having to happen in order to be happy, we become so rigid that we cannot relax into the happiness when it arrives. Sometimes it seems impossible to make any decision at all in this life. We hit the super jackpot of challenging decisions and feel forced to make a major life choice where there is no evident win-win scenario. Our soulmate, life partner, is drowning in a sea of circling, hungry sharks. the best outcome might be, what we believe is best for others, or another time it may be only what's in the best interest for ourselves. Sometimes we must choose that safe route, what has been comfortable or known to us in the past, while other times it's better to take that dangerous leap of faith into the unknown. What helps us to find the most enlightened decision when confronted with a real-life challenging scenario is nothing in this noticing where the choice is coming from. Is it coming from love and trust or fear and tension? The outcome that we manifest will be based on the springboard we jump from. If we dive into the water out of pure fear, the sharks will smell that and eat us alive. If we dive in with passion, love, and trust, you just might escape alive. To find out if your choice is love-based or fear-based, pay close attention to your chest. Notice how the energy around your heart responds when you think about the choice. Does it expand in love or contract in fear? Be aware of how grounded you are in this feeling and how it touches you emotionally as well. In life, there is always a choice to be made. Even if we freeze and don't make any decision at all, this still ends up becoming a choice. We must choose to surrender to our default destiny, letting the universe decide what's best for us. This freeze point in decision-making is one of the most powerful transformational places we can arrive at. It is the point where pure choiceless awareness is found. It is the easiest place where we can create a breakthrough to a higher state of consciousness. When all thought processes come to a total stop, this is the moment when the radical, spiritually liberating experience of pure choiceless awareness comes into play. In this place, there is no separate chooser, no ego, or limited being in need of anything. There is simply a relaxation into the spiritual destiny that the soul is already aligned with. The highest states of consciousness are found in the most random and ordinary circumstances. An enlightening experience can show up in a simple urge to move to a new city, get a new job, or change to a new relationship. It often happens when the mind becomes completely frozen and it cannot decide what the right decision will create the most happiness, success, and freedom. Ultimately, for the soul, it doesn't matter if your ego gets what it wants or not. The soul is more interested in where you are making each choice from. The choice is always coming from either a state of love or fear. Notice what experience are you really trying to have in life anyway? If you could wave a magic wand, what would you honestly want your great destiny in life to be? If you want spiritual freedom, you could choose to stay in the same house, at the same job, or with the same relationship that you've been in for years, as long as you're seeing what a sacred teacher the situation is. You'll be able to love where you are and feel truly free there. However, if you want financial freedom and great material success, you may want to do something radically different and move to that new town with the big job that has no financial ceiling to it. There are no right or wrong paths taken in this life. There are only choices we make and how we truly feel inside about them. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies that we are in. Head to toe inside now. We are not the body. We are not the name. We are not the personality, and we are not the character. We are the God source within the body. So it seems that we could see the body, understand the emotions that the body possesses and brings in, how the ego and the mind operate, the subconscious mind. So we know that the body is like a magnet, super powerful magnet that attracts everything. It pulls it in, it stores it in the subconscious mind. Stress, fear, anxiety, worry, remorse, all kinds of things, judgments, ridicule. And those are the thoughts that the ego mind creates. And bring them in. Remember, your thoughts you send out. Thoughts that come in are not yours. They seem like it. They're real close. You really think they are, but they're not. That's how you can differentiate. When you create a thought, your thought goes out. It goes out to the universe. When you receive a thought, the thought is already there. It's been used many times before. It is a program. So how do you dismiss, with kindness, gentleness, generosity, and humbleness, these fears, anxieties, hurriedness, anticipation, expectation, attachments? How do we eliminate those? You face them. Put them on the couch, and go through each one and ask, to yourself, okay, so, all right, fear, what is this all about? You'd be amazed on what happens, no matter how huge it may seem. But after a while, it becomes automatic, and you just do it automatically. You go into a space of quietness, and you address each situation or each worry, fear, anxiety that you have that's been generated. And you'll know when they're gone because the body will relax. It'll just go into a state of nothingness. You move into that state when the body is relaxed. You'll know it every time. When you move into that state, you're not thinking. You have left the mind and the ego alone. You're not thinking. You don't have that chatter, that noise that we all have. You'll notice it's gone. And these incessant, tens of thousands of thoughts that are generated every day. And then the tens of millions outside of us that are passing by. And this is the now. We move into the now. And we stay in the now by focusing on our breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, easily. And that's how we stay in the now. Because the breath is the now. Breath is divine positive energy. Soul enters the body, powers up the body. The breath is created through the lungs. Sustains the body that houses the kingdom of God, the God source, you. Now, when we know that we're in the now, our interest is only the now, moment to moment, breath to breath, space between heartbeats. And if you will, in front of you, there are 3 circles, pads. One in the center looks almost brand new, golden color. And they're all golden color. One on the left, which is the past, looks quite worn. One on the right, which is the future, looks quite worn. Only the center path, the now, seems almost pristine. And why is this? We have a tendency to travel in the past. We all have memories and we experience them and they're fun, wonderful. We have our own libraries in our subconscious mind. We can go in there anytime we want. But everything's there, good, bad, and ugly. And so we can pick up a book off of one of our shelves in the subconscious mind. And then we can reminisce. It's fun. We can also go in there and check out some of the experiences that we've had that we don't care to repeat. So there's good things about it. But some of us will go there and stay there in that library. It's the past. And it's like no different than walking into any library and just picking a book and reading it or looking at various writings. But you know they're past. They're gone. So some of us stay there so long that we end up taking that past, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, creating that future from that past and reliving that past in that future. And this is why a lot of people will say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Why is that? And then we go into the future, because none of us are exempt from any of this. We all do it. But we do it to a certain extent. We don't stay focused on past energies, frequencies. We're moving forward all the time. So when we go into the future, we ask, when is this going to happen? When am I going to have this? When can I expect this to happen? I'm expecting this to take place. And then when it doesn't, we suffer. So actually the now is it. That now we create the future. We reminisce the past. Everything is in the now. Now, we also, because of all these programmed thoughts running by us, like clouds in the sky or a superhighway, sometimes we'll latch onto one, not sometimes, a lot, and we float off. We've all done it so many times where you're focused on something and then you're just somewhere else. It's not like you intended it. That's it. Boom, you're somewhere else. And this is when it's very important to understand to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble, and 24/7, the highest of the highest high, and the deepest of the deepest, eternal gratitude. So when you do find yourself wandering off out of the now, it's not a biggie. It's just not a biggie. So you just say, I'll focus on my breath, and I'll be in the now. And you'll be in the now 3,000% of the time with ease. And your life changes when you do this, when you're on autopilot, automatic. You automatically kick in and do it. As soon as you wander off, boom. You focus on your breath, you're in the now. Now, when this body is relaxed, doesn't it make sense that we know that we can look at it, see it, visualize it, feel it? And we notice that through the center of the body, from the very tip of the spine, all the way up to the top of the head, there's these lights. Most people call them chakras, points of light. And a chakra means wheel. So these are wheels of light. All different colors. And they're etherical spiritual energy. So it's not something that you can grab and pick up. It's what we are. We are etheric spiritual energy. So doesn't it make sense that we have this conduit that we flow through the body? And we flow through the body 24/7. Perpetually. So therefore, doesn't it make sense that we are, even though most of us aren't connected, that don't have the understanding of totally who and what we are, we're eternally knowing of this body. Even right down to the quantum quark. All the blood, all the cells, everything. And eventually, we will come to the understanding that we will be able to heal these bodies in a blink of the eye. We know that the soul, the soul, the God, the source, come into these bodies, and we're the heaven. The body is the earth. We also know, because we're consciously aware, that we're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, that every step we take, we're creating paradise. And shining our light 360 degrees nonstop. And what is the light? The light is the gods that we are within these bodies. The light is the pure, deep, eternal love. It floods all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Each of us, consciously aware, are affecting millions of those on this planet. Each of us. And then along the way, we may learn enough to discover that we are the light. We don't need to follow a light outside of ourselves because we are the light. Now we know that there are parts of us that are awake to a certain extent, and then there's parts of us that are asleep. As the gods we are in these bodies, we're all one. It doesn't matter what species, doesn't matter, we're all one. Whatever physical vessel that holds us, gods within the vessel are all one. So we know that the parts of us, the gods that we are asleep. We can't wake them up. They decide when they will wake up. But then there are other parts of us that the ones that are asleep, and then the ones that are awake. The ones that are awake are the ones that we draw to, the parts of us that are awake. That's all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. That's the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. That's the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundancia, Hell, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All of the galactics, off-worlders, and celestials. All of the inhabitants of inner Earth, hollow Earth, Agartha, and beneath Earth. And the eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of one is. We only see one light spectrum. So we have a lot of light energy beings that come in shapes, color, sizes, forms, and configurations that we never see. We are familiar with just a handful of them that are real. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the unicorn, the Pegasus, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. Now, the galactic celestials, all formers. Over 1,000 of them travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. Now, we're focused on a handful that we're somewhat familiar with. Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. There's countless others. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. This is why we don't see them like we see each other. We interact with them, we meet them, and it's always just out of the clear blue. You ever notice that? That you might be doing something and all of a sudden someone shows up just like they appeared out of nowhere and they help you with something, or you're trying to make a decision, and by talking with them you're able to make the decision. You ever experience that? And then sometimes we notice that you look around, they're gone. It's like they vanished. And then some people say, well, why do they appear like us? Well, they feel it would be a lot more acceptable if they appear like us rather than if they appear for what they are. Because a lot of people would be kind of set back or disturbed about it. Now, they can surround any one of us in the tens of thousands at any one time. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And they send us messages, and the message is the same, but it's delivered in many different ways. Sometimes when we meet with them, we know after we've met with them, that was an angel. But the message is this. Isn't it absolutely magna-glorious, stupendous, phenomenal, spectacular, joyous, blissful to be alive in these bodies and to acknowledge that as bliss? And if you want them to surround you at any one time, ask. They will. And you'll experience bliss. Now, the Ascended Masters have mastered physical. They have mastered ascending into physical, out of physical, hold pure God form, pure consciousness. We are mastering physical. We have ascended into physical. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. And arm in arm, hand in hand, we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy, is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God source within these bodies. It is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest eternal love. And it's flooding this planet 24/7, non-stop. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And the love that we are is flooding this planet. We begin to ascend above the planet, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. And it's trillions and trillions and trillions of flashing lights, multicolored, colors we've never seen before. And so we look at the point of reflection, and we see these microscopic tiny mirrors. So we enter them when we discover all of us, in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, are learning and teaching and learning with each other. No matter where life is housed, no matter where the God love energy is, a tree, a bird, a bush, a rabbit, a blade of grass, a leaf, we are learning and we are teaching. Always. We continue to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with the white fire armor. Nothing like that on earth. And this emanates from the God source, the God force, love, light, energy within each and every single one of us. This armor cannot be dented. It cannot be drained. It doesn't die off. It doesn't dissipate. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. No demon possession, attachments. Ever. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, consciously or unconsciously, through anger, hatred, fear, greed, envy, manipulation, dishonesty, hurriedness, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then, the possibilities of demon possession, attachments, lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. But if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light, purple transmuting flame, and the violet ray. We created these to remind us all that the first one, the purple transmuting flame, we can bring it in. We can transmute all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. Immediately, the violet ray. We created this column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies once were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that the gods within these bodies are the sun, the sunlight. The sun sets and the sun rises, rain and the rainbows, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the soils, the trees, the forests, the mountains, the animals. We are everything, and everything is us. So the next time you view a sunset or a sunrise, starlit night sky, an ocean front, it is you. When you look at it, you don't say, isn't that beautiful? Because you missed the point. When you look at it, you go, this is me. This is the God that I am. Much different. The feeling that you have is much different. It's the way it always has been, always will be, ever beyond and forever. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form, if we're carrying physical form, and hover effortlessly above. Why do we do this? Because we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. It's humongous. It's massive. It's larger than the solar system. We created it. In the center of the column, we have an oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white bowl of light. And it's surrounded by numerous multicolored grains of light. And they're all sending out this kind of electrified mist that absorbs into us. It's like a warm embrace that never ends. It's euphoric. And the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, well-being, great wealth, great prosperity, great abundance, bliss, joy, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, tranquility, benevolence, and it's unending. And then we discover that it is a reflection of the gods that we are. And the top of this tower, we designed it so the golden ocean could come cascading down 360 degrees. This ocean is pure, deep, eternal love. And it's flooding all of us 24/7, nonstop, awake or asleep. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Now, all of us are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. The drops are the golden ocean are the drops. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere. Going on 4 years ago, it holds over 1,600 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Every day, 7 days a week. The highest of the highest high intense. And it's flooding us all continuously, saturating us head to head, toe to toe, inside and out. And you can feel it, and you can tap into it any time you desire. The essence of eternal life is flowing within each and every one of us right now. Look. And where does it come from? If you dive just a bit deeper today, you'll be presented with something extraordinary, an essence that contains an infinity of magical possibilities. This is who you really are. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Dive all the way in. Explore going down to the bottom of your deepest, darkest trench and muck inside. There, you will discover that which will lead you deeper to your core. Try it, just for 5 minutes today. Hang out with your dark stuff. Get to know its vibration. Being with the contracted parts of yourself assist you in knowing what it is you are to transcend. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we will return Monday, October 11th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.